Alright guys, so after many years of having a 3D printer, I got tired of it, and it got to a point where I was leveling the bed more than I was 3D printing. It was a Anycubic i3 Mega, and for the time that I had it, it was decent, but now these newer 3D printers, they have self-bed leveling, and this is the Kobra 2 Neo, and right now it's on sale on their website for $169. So that's insane for that price. The other cool thing is, you know, it comes with a magnetic bed. You get this bed. I think it's called like PEI material. Okay, when you get inside here, you're gonna have your owner's manual here. This, it's like a quick start guide, kind of shows you how to put it together. In the bag, we're gonna get a few different things. Comes packed pretty well. This, I believe, is for the filament to hold it. Here's your plug. Okay, that's the actual bed itself. And then this right here, this is the extruder. And this is the little control screen. So that's basically everything that comes in the box. Okay, so here is the heat bed itself. I'm gonna pull some of this off of here, out from underneath. And the cool thing about this one is it is self-leveling, which is gonna make my job so much easier as opposed to having to mess with all the springs, and yeah, that was just a nightmare. Okay, so let's get into this bag here. We'll see exactly what comes in here. So we have a little spool of some PLA, SD card reader. Here's your micro SD card, and that's what you're going to insert in here to send your prints. Comes with some clips. There's a couple of screws, different sizes for the mounting. Extra tip, that's nice that they throw one of those in for you. Here's all your Allen wrenches that you're going to need. Couple of zip ties. This looks like one of those little pick tools, which is nice to have just in case you need to clean out the extruding head. Single lead screw, XSS belt tensioner, build platform, card slot, Type-C interface, nice filament holder, got that. Filament tube, that's on there. This little parts list here. Alright, so let's cut out these zip ties here. Bring this up. So I'm just going to spin the little stepper motor here to bring that up. Okay, so I have it up to about the middle here, so let's move on. So I think these ones, it's these guys here. Those ones should be the 45 millimeter. And then the 25 guessing are going to be these guys here, and those should be the 25. So let's see exactly where those little guys go. Right here, and then on the other side here. So let's see. I believe we'll have to mount them from underneath. The longer ones will go to the outside, and the shorter ones will go to the inside. There we go. Just like that. Alright guys, so basically I'm doing a little voiceover here. The sound quality here wasn't that great because my fan was on and the mic was picking up the fan noise. But what I'm doing right here is I'm taking the screws, again the longer screw is going to the outside of the frame, and the shorter screw is going to go to the inside of the frame. You just want to make sure that when you're putting them in, you're not forcing them in, you're not over tightening them until you get all 4 screws in. Then you want to go back in and tighten them up and make them nice and snug. Just remember, you're not wanting to force anything because you don't want to cross thread or damage anything on this 3D printer. Again, sorry for the fan noise. We will have a few clips that will have it, but I did my best to minimize it. Install the PEI sheet, which is this sheet right here. And again, like I said, this thing is all magnetic. Okay, so according to this, we're going to mount 2 screws here and then 2 screws right here. So, and if you look on the back of the print head here, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 little guys right here to mount that on there. We're going to use this Allen wrench here. Screws on here. This is where it's going to be essential not to over tighten screws or try to force anything. Okay, so we got 1 in right here. Okay, so we got those 2 in. Now these 2 down in here, these ones go in a little easier. Hey, those actually, that one did go in easier. And again, we're not going to over tighten these, not yet, not until we get them all on. Last one right here. Okay, so now that we got that here, let's tighten them all down. That's nice and tight in there. Alright, so there we go. That's installed. So next, it looks like we're going to install the little control screen here, and it has 2 screw holes in the back here. We're going to use these screws here right there. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Anyway, those are going to go right here like that, and then we can plug this little guy in as well. So it's only going to go in one way. I'm just going to pop it in there, and we can put these screws in. Right right there. Boom. So that's that. Next, we're going to put in our filament holder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this kind of just locks into place here like that, just like that, okay, and then you can see it's got some locks here. I guess it just kind of locks in place here on the side. Let's see how this goes. There we go. Okay, you really got to push that down so that it sits flush. So now what we're going to do is we're going to insert the filament tube here. So the filament tube coming from the printer head is going to go right in here like this. Just like that. On here, so when it's doing its printing thing, it has enough slack. Alright, so now we're going to hook up these wires. If you're looking at them, they are pre-marked here. So you can see they have letters on them like E, X, PE. So those are just going to get connected to the wires that are marked with the same. Alright, so let's get this hooked up here. So as you can see, it's got this one wire here that's zip tied. Okay, now this guy is going to go over to this here. Let me move this out so you'll be able to see that. So it's only going to go in one way. So you do not want to force this in, because if you break this, no good. You need to unclip here and here. These things open. Okay, and we need to make sure that we're going to put this in the right way. When you go to push this in, make sure you put your hand here underneath the head, and then we can pop it in place. So X is for the stepper motor. So X. Okay. PE is also for the stepper motor, I believe. So that's only going to go in one way. Make sure you only connect it one way. Do not force it in. Alright guys, coming in with another voiceover. So these little clips here, they're going to go along the edge of that big braid. And the one thing you want to make sure is that you keep them all facing the same direction, because there is a little hook on there. And that is for the tubing, for the PLA or the plastic filament to go through to the hot end. Make sure you don't twist that up. So we're going to put a zip tie right here. Just like that. That'll zip tie that. That's going to give us plenty of room. We're going to check and make sure that this isn't too wobbly on here, and if it is, we can actually take this tool here and come down. There's a little bolt here, and then we just have to turn it to the right to tighten this down just a little bit more. So that's too tight, so we need to loosen it now. There we go. You don't want it too loose. We don't want it too tight. Same with this one. Okay, that one's perfect. So if the bed is like too loose, then there's a little bolt here where the wheels are, and we need to tighten that down so that we can get rid of that wobble there. So pretty much going to be the same size when you're going to use there. We're going to tighten it here. Alright guys, so right here I'm just going over the tensioning knobs that you can see on the bottom there by the bed or by the printing head. If they feel a little loose, you can turn them clockwise and it'll tighten up that belt for you. Alright guys, so now that we have it turned on, we're going to turn the knob here so that we can get to settings of it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down to auto level, and then we're going to hit, it's preheating. You can hear the fan kick on. So right now what it's doing is the bed is going to heat up to 60 degrees Celsius. So a little more filament that came out. Okay, and you can see it's actually moving down. And then what it's going to do is it's going to auto level on its own. Okay, so it's still preheating. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go down and it's going to wipe the nozzle here on the back to clean it. And that's what it does there. So it's cleaning the nozzle off right now. There we go. And it's going to push that down there. Let the machine know. Now it's auto leveling. And here we go. What it does is it has a little tiny sensor on the bottom of the print head, and since the bed is metal, it's a magnetic sensor, and the sensor pretty much tells the print head how far away from the bed it needs to be. And I believe it's 25 points on the bed itself. Alright guys, so I just wanted to let you know I did end up running the auto leveling procedure twice, just to lock in the distance between the hot end and the bed itself, and it worked perfect. So that's that. Done and done. So the next thing we need to do is load some filament up. Alright, so I got some old black filament here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and put it on here like so. It needs to come up like this. Hopefully you can see that. We need to cut this at an angle because that'll just help it load in easier here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to load this filament. So we're going to go back to the screen here, back into settings, and so after we load the filament up, we're going to go back into the settings, and then we're going to scroll down to filament. We're going to push that button there, and then we're going to go to extrude, and then hit that. And the nozzle is heating up. It's set for 215 degrees Celsius, which is typically about what you want for PLA, usually around 200. Alright guys, so now that all that's done, we have two little ports here. This is for the SD micro, and this is a USB-C if you want to, I guess, just run directly off of your laptop. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this in and we're going to print. So let's make sure we get this in the right way. I think it's upside down is where you're supposed to put it in. Yep. Okay, so then let's go here. Alright guys, so here on top, I believe this is where our prints are going to be. There we go. Alright guys, checking in on this now. It's been maybe about 10 minutes. So this is about 17 minutes, I'm sorry, 18 minutes in. And guys, it's printing amazingly. I mean, this is probably the cleanest prints I've ever had on a 3D printer. And that's including my original 3D printer. And again, this thing is, I only had to do the auto leveling twice, and this is the first print right here, so we're witnessing it together. Alright guys, so this is about 29 minutes in, 29 minutes 7 seconds, and it's almost finished. And from what I can see now, it looks pretty clean. And there you have it. Printing is complete. So I'm gonna let the bed cool down a little bit, and then we'll see how easy it is to remove the print from the bed. Alright guys, so it's been about a minute. So the bed's still a little warm, but let's see. Yeah, it's still on there a little bit, but there we go. I mean, really, that just popped off. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I am super impressed with the quality of print that I got off of this little printer, especially since I only had to do the self-leveling procedure, 2 times to get that quality. If you are interested in this printer and you want to get more into the specs of this printer, which there are plenty of that I didn't go over in this video, head over to Anycubic's website, www.anycubic.com. It'll give you all the specifications for the price and the quality of print. I definitely recommend these 3D printers. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Peace for now.